the mercy of God. And here today we are shown how this mercy of God can reach us. And in the first reading, we see how the Lord is annoyed with the Israelites that they haven't lived up to expectations. And the Lord promises Moses that he will give a punishment to the Israelites and that they will not reach where he wanted them. But he assures Moses that nothing will happen to him. Since he has lived to the expectation of the Lord, he will be safe. But in this mercy, we see that Moses intercedes for the Israelites. Moses goes to the Lord and begs that he forgives them. And he uses the promise which was made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He reminds the Lord that do not forget the promise you gave. Do not do anything to these Israelites. And through the intercession of Moses, the Lord was able to relent and forgive them. So today we learn also that our brothers and sisters will receive the Lord's mercy through our intercession for them. We pray to the Lord that he too will be able to forgive our brothers and sisters. We already know, just like St. Monica, she was there day in and day out to intercede for her son, St. Augustine. And St. Augustine was able to convert and was able to come and do the great works in our church. So apart from learning the intercession which we do or give to each other, we also learn that we'll be able to intercede for each other if we have positive interpretation of one another. We look at the positive side of a situation and see how we can glorify God and see how we can bring God closer to what is good. And what was positive with the Israelites, it is in the promise where the Lord himself had promised that he was going to be with them. Moses did not look at the negatives of the Israelites, but he looked at the package and saw what was good, what was positive, and asked the Lord to forgive them. So my dear brothers and sisters, the mercy of God will come to our brothers, will come to our sisters when we intercede for each other. The positive interpretation is very cardinal, especially if we look at the gospel of today. And this is where the Lord also asks us to be careful of what we say of each other. The three parables we are given today, it is because of the audience Jesus had. At the very beginning, we are told that the tax collectors and the sinners were coming to Jesus. They were drawing closer to him. And in the presence of the tax collectors and the sinners were drawing closer to him, there were also the scribes and the Pharisees. And the scribes and the Pharisees, instead of being positive of what was happening, they were very negative, wondering why tax collectors and sinners should draw closer to God. And this is why he gives them the three parables we have heard today. And he is trying not to preach now to the tax collectors nor the sinners, but now he's preaching. He's asking the scribes and the Pharisees to convert. The first one, which he says of a lost sheep, that the owner goes in search of the one that is missing. And as he finds it, he rejoices. He carries it on his shoulders. He comes back rejoicing with the whole community. So in this, the Lord is telling us that we can be lost from the community and be outside of that community. So the Lord, the one who is merciful, will come and fish us outside the community to bring us back to be with the community which he intended from the very beginning. In the other parable, where a woman loses the coin within the house, that's where it says now he has to clean everything, light the lamp so that he finds the missing coin, and when he finds this, she again rejoices with her friends. This is where we are told as well that we can not only be lost outside, but we can also be lost from inside. Despite always coming to church, despite always having our devotions, we might be lost. And the Lord still needs to continue finding us, to continue converting us. He then puts the two parables into one, as he gives us of the prodigal son. That's where he shows us now that this son who goes out, gets lost outside, and then comes back. But there is also the elder son who's inside, but is also lost because he does not subscribe to the mercy and love of God. So today, in the two readings, we see the love of God. The love of God is the one that converts our hearts. Converts our hearts from outside and brings us inside. And also, it's the love of God that continues to convert us while we are inside. We celebrate when one is converted, just as we do on Baptism Day. On Baptism Day, the church rejoices because one who was from outside is brought back in the church and becomes part of the community. It does not diminish the number of those who are there. The love of God which gives to all of us who are here does not diminish, but it extends to the newly baptized, and that's how we all rejoice as a community. We can also rejoice when we are lost from inside, when we have lost touch, and when we come and renew our own promises. This is what we do every Sunday when we recite the creed. We come back and renew ourselves, and the Lord rejoices when we renew our promises so that we are with him. So it is again the love, the mercy, and kindness of God which draws us from outside, and which also, even when we are inside and lost, reminds us that we are not with the Lord. So the question which comes here now is to be like the lost son who went out. Are we able ourselves to recognize and do the self-examining of where we are? It is only when the son realized where he was and what he was missing that he promised that I'm going back to my father. Even if he has said, when I go to my father, I'll ask not to be a son now, but to be a slave. But when the father saw him from afar, embraced him, put him a new ring, new shoes, new cloth, and rejoiced, without thinking of what happened before, was looking at the person before who has converted. This is what we are all reminded, that from time to time, let's take advantage of the sacrament of reconciliation. When we take the sacrament of reconciliation, the good Lord, who's merciful, loving, and kind, will always forgive us, will always embrace us. And this is where also we learn that the cardinal thing is not to look at the other, but to look at ourselves. The time like the senior brother was looking at the younger brother, he lost touch with the spirit, the vision of the Father. Because the Father will be able to enter in each one of us at any point. But all what we have to do is to intercede each other to the Father, that we are all converted. And if we do this, that's when we see now Paul himself exclaiming and rejoicing that himself, Paul, who was a sinner, has been welcomed by the Father. And he goes to say it was the patience of the Father, the acceptance of the Father, and the mercifulness of the Father that he was drawn to be closer to God. And through that was being converted to be a better person and proclaim the word of God. So we are invited, my dear brothers and sisters, as we receive the mercy of God, the love of God, the forgiveness of God, and his kindness, we too also are to extend it to our brothers and sisters, to extend it to the community we live in, to extend it to the nation we live in, and above all, to be like Moses, the one who always gives a positive interpretation of the community, who always intercedes for others, so that the good Lord will bless all of us. May God, the one who's calling us, the one who's loving us, the one who's kind to us, give us that spirit to be kind, loving, and forgiving to one another.